All right, welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm going through our chat here and I'm seeing where everybody's from. This is incredible. A lot of people here from Texas. This is awesome. Like my locals. I love seeing y'all here. I love seeing everybody else from around the States. I saw somebody from Netherlands. This is great. South Florida, Tori, hello. So my monitor with all the chats on this side, but you guys are here. So I'm going to get started. I know that we probably going to have some people popping in momentarily, but it's 6 o'clock and we're going to kick this off. So I want to welcome you guys. This is what I call the confidence comeback. And it's going to be 5 steps to transform your body in 6 months, which is 120 days. You guys ready for this? If you are, raise your hands. Say I, put it in the comments, say yes, I'm ready, say me, say I, let me know that you're ready to go because we're going to kick this off right now. I'm going to talk for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour tops, but I promise you it's going to be 100% worth everything or every moment of your time. So let's dive in. You ready? Here we go. After today's workshop, here's what you're never going to have problems with again. So for those of you that have underlying health conditions, so things like polycystic ovarian syndrome, diabetes, whether it's type 1, type 2, pre-diabetics, hormonal imbalances, whatever it might be, Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, anything like this, you're not going to struggle with your physical progress anymore. Yo-yo dieting. Who's been a victim of yo-yo dieting where you start, you get in a big calorie deficit, you see progress, and then you just freaking rebound and it's over? Put it in the chat. Raise your hand. Say I want to know who we're talking to here because I'm a victim of it. I never take the victim mentality. I've just done it. Let's put it that way. Look at that. Emotional, mental barriers, physical confidence, and self-esteem, time and energy constraints. Who's got time and energy constraints? Let me know because I'm a girl that's got time and energy constraints. All right, good. Well, after today, you're not going to have to struggle with any of this anymore. Now, the issue, don't leave. The issue is that y'all have been running a marathon in Crocs. And what's happening is that you have the tools, or you've been given the tools in the past. They're just the wrong ones. You have the effort, you have the drive. And when you go out there and you try, you just have the wrong tools. They're the wrong ones for what you're trying to do. And so tonight, I'm going to give you the right tools for what we need to do so your feet don't look like this if you run a marathon. You picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah? All right, let's do it. So no matter where you are on this scale right here, I'm going to show you how to jump 3 steps to the right. So these are body fat percentages, what we're looking at here. So find your space on the scale. Which category are you? And just know by the end of this webinar, you're going to be able to jump 3 steps to the right in 120 days. That is my promise to you. That's what I do. All right. For anybody that doesn't know anything about me, I'm going to just talk very quickly. So anybody new knows who I am, what I do. I used to be a 280-pound male bodybuilder. I was massive. I had about 6% body fat. And in this photo right here, I was only about 270. That wasn't even my biggest yet. I used the tactics that I know work. I went from 280 pounds trying to lose crazy amounts of muscle. I lost over 110 pounds of muscle to get to where I am now. And for those of you that are here like, well, I don't need to lose muscle. I want to lose body fat. Well, I've been through that too. There was a point where I gained 30 plus pounds after I started my transition and I had to lose that again. So not only once, but twice I did that. It was crazy. So I've got experience from all that. And yes, I am a former WW superstar. I was on Raw, SmackDown, ECW, WGN Superstars, NXT for, let's see, it was 2008 to 2011. And now, as many of you know, I am going back to wrestling, which is why I'm dressed up tonight. I'm producing one of the shows locally here in Austin. And as you can see, I've been through several journeys, not just your average human. Now, if everything had happened, I'm sorry, let me back up. If things had not happened the way that they did, I could not be the person I was expected to be. And when I say that, every moment has led me to here. With all of my knowledge, all of my information, who I am, the ability to talk to you the way that I do, everything had to happen for a reason. Now, let's talk about how this affected me personally, and I know you're going to be able to relate. I couldn't live up to the expectations of being a fitness coach when I gained this weight. This is me, 30 plus pounds overweight, and this was not long ago. This was about a year and a half ago, to be point blank honest with you guys. The hormones were taking over. I had all these crazy hunger cravings because of hormones, progesterone, like you name it. My motivation wasn't there. And I had to get back to basics. I had to get back to square one. I was not feeling adequate. I could not be a fitness coach. I could not do what I felt like my calling was. I couldn't help you looking like this. So here's what happened. I dropped over 30 pounds in a very short amount of time. And this is where I ended up. This is a little bit lighter than I am today. I have a lot more muscle because I've gone back to wrestling, but that was me after I did exactly what I'm going to show you in this webinar tonight. 30 plus pounds down. All right, let's talk about why I'm doing this. Let me back up even. I'm gonna tell you what helped, what didn't help. So what worked, what didn't work. And like I said, this is the second time I've gained and lost this weight. Right now, this is Megan Bachnight. She's one of my clients. This woman has lost over 130 pounds, if I remember right. She's been with us for over a year and a half now. And I actually have her here with us. Do you guys want to chat with her? Because she's just an amazing human. I'm going to bring her on really quick. And if for any reason anything freezes, just know I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Sometimes StreamYard will freeze when I bring guests on, but just hang tight. I'm going to bring her on really quick. Megan, hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
I'm great. Is it crazy to look back on that before picture and see where you were?
It really is. Yeah. It's shocking.
Tell me how you feel. Tell everyone, like, how do you feel now, like compared to then? Give me 10 seconds of like the most amazingness that you feel right now.
Honestly, I feel excited to wake up every day and just be alive. And that is not something that the person on the left of the screen could say.
Right, right. And I know we talked a little earlier, there was something you wanted to tell everybody about your journey.
I did. And the thing I just wanted to hit home to everyone is that I have done this. I've done the yo-yo, I've lost and I've regained. And this is the first time that I had the proper tools to actually take control of my life. And I feel so wonderful now. And it's just so different when you start changing those behaviors. And I've gotten to know myself again and love who I am. And my mental health journey has been so much greater than the physical. And looking at those two pictures, you can see how big the physical is, but the mental is so much more.
That's the most important part. I think we have a feeling of confidence, right? You feel way more confident. Like you weren't smiling in the old picture. You smile all the time now. I know we talk from time to time. You're always all smiles. There's just such an energy about you. So Megan, thank you so much for coming on and just telling your story and letting everybody hear your voice so they know that there's a real person behind these photos. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, honey. Talk soon.
Bye.
All right. So Megan Bachnight, everyone, 130 plus pounds in like a year and a half with us. But she's not the only one. You know, we have helped over 2,300 clients to their goal. Not just been through our program, bought our programs, but 2,300 clients to their goal. I mean, they're everywhere. This is what I live for. I live for helping multiple clients. I love helping them achieve a happier and healthier life. It's very, very near and dear to my heart. All right. So in today's little webinar here that we're doing, you're going to learn how to go 3 steps to the right on this chart. You're going to get an understanding of how to do it sustainably, no matter what your environment is, no matter what your circumstances are, and how to do it the right way, the GLOW way, GLO. That's my company, Guided Lifestyle Optimization, because there's so much more than just fitness. And we're going to do it 30 to 43% faster than you would if you were doing it on your own or by traditional methods. And I'll get down to the nitty gritty. I'm literally going to show you guys how to condense everything that you're doing and make rapid progress. Okay, let's dive in. Here we go. Step 1, set your foundation. You must have your why. Who's heard me talk about the why on lives or my videos? Raise your hand, say I, put it in the comments below. Let me see really quick. Who has heard me talk about the why? The driving force behind everything that you do. Put it in the comments. Let's see this. Yeah, see? So here we go. The 7 layers of a why. Now, what is it? What is your why? It is the driving force behind everything you do that is based on emotion. It's emotion. So I'm going to ask you guys to do this exercise with me. And we got to think, It's like an onion. So we're going to start peeling back layers of an onion is what we're going to do. And as we start peeling, we're going to get deeper. So most whys are on the surface, and we're going to go way deeper. Now, as we start peeling that onion, what happens if you peel an onion? What happens if you cut an onion or chop an onion, start getting back the layers? It lets off all the onion smell, and you start to what? You start to cry, right? So usually whys will stir deep, deep emotion. So I'm going to, for the first time in a very long time, tell you my why. And it's going to give you an example of how you can find yours. So as I'm telling my why, I want you to think about what your why is going to be. Okay, here we go. So I had one brother. He was 5 years younger than me. Great kid. He has a wife and 2 kids. Very well off. He did great financially, but he became addicted to methamphetamines. And I had no idea. I didn't know anything about methamphetamines at all. I had no idea how serious it was. I just thought it was like another drug. And he told me, hey, I can take care of this. I can get off this stuff. I'm like, okay, I believe you. I totally believe you. No problem. You're my younger brother. I trust you. But it got bad. It got really, really bad, to the point where, the cops came and got him a couple times because he was kind of out of his mind. I didn't know it gave you like psychosis, and you start hallucinating and you start getting paranoid. And he calls me one day. I was very upset at him because he was forging my signature on things and had gotten us into some legal trouble. And he called me one day. I was living in Northern California. He was in Southern California. And he said, hey, the CIA's after me, all this crazy stuff that happens when you do methamphetamines. And it was all in his head. I was mad. I said, look, I'm not going to fly down. He wanted me to fly down and see him. I said, I'm not going to fly down. There's no way. I'm not going down there. Stop wasting my time. Go get sober and call me when you're sober. And I hung up on him. So we didn't talk for months. Christmas Day that year, this was 2011, came around, and he FaceTimed my parents. I was at my parents' house, and I really didn't want to talk to him. I was still upset. And I kind of waved from across the room like, hey, and I could just tell something wasn't right in his voice. My dad had said, hey, we're going to put you into rehab. Drive home, drive to Northern California. I will put you in a rehab. I'll pay for everything. And so that was the plan. He was going to drive home the next day. Well, he hopped in his truck, packed it all up, drove to a shooting range. Sorry, I get very emotional. He took the gun and put it to his head, and I never got a chance to see my brother again. And it devastated me. I missed an opportunity to help him. And I promised myself I would never, ever miss an opportunity to help someone. So I didn't know how to help people at that time. The only thing I knew how to do was fitness. I was very good at fitness. And so that's when I really dove in. And I started really seeing lives being changed. And I promised myself, if I could help one person a day, just one single person, I would be honoring the memory of my brother. And that is why I do what I do today. That is my why. That is my long-standing, powerful why. Now, not everybody's why is going to be as deep as that. But do you see how when you go beyond the surface, it's going to drive you? It's never going to be the how do I get it done? It's why do I want to get it done? Why does this have to get done? The how will happen if you have the why. So right now, ask yourself, let's do it with you. So I'm going to ask you, why do you, on the webinar right now, whether you're a guy or a girl, why do you want to lose weight or why do you want to gain muscle? What is it that you want to do? Tell me why. And most people are going to say something like, well, I want to look good, right? Who wants to look good? Put it in the comments. I want to look good. Or I want to feel good. I want to live a long time. I want to be there for my kids. I want to be healthy, right? These are ones that I hear all the time. These are very superficial whys. And while there is emotion behind it, it's not deep. And we must go deeper. You must ask yourself why to the question. So if you're brave enough to put it in the chat, please feel free. Or if you've written it down, please feel free. So write it down, put it in the chat, and then ask yourself again, why? Why do I want to look good? And most of my clients are going to say something like, I want to fit in those jeans that are 2 sizes smaller. I go, okay. So Susan, why? Why do you want to fit in those jeans? And then they'll go, because I don't think my husband finds me attractive. Boom. There it is. Okay. Why do you want your husband to make you feel attractive? Or why do you want to feel attractive to your husband? And she goes, because it was the most incredible time in our life and I felt love. Most of my clients want to feel love. They want to feel good in their body. They want to feel confident. They want their significant other or spouse to look at them and admire them. They want to feel significance. If this rings a bell, raise your hand, say aye. If this sounds familiar, raise your hand, say aye. It doesn't have to be that why. It definitely does not have to be that why at all. But please share your why in the comment. Put it in there. Let's see. Be brave, guys. Be brave. And remember, change will always be difficult. Anything worth attaining takes effort. But with a strong why, with the right knowledge and the right support, anything is possible and everything is possible, but it starts with your why. So that is step number one. Okay. If you haven't written it down, write your why down right now. Number two, whoa, I just flew by all this. Sorry. We're going to master the science of nutrition. So I'm going to break down nutrition in very simple terms for y'all, because I know that it can get overwhelming, right? I know it gets very overwhelming with nutrition. It does not have to be complicated. All we have to do is know what foods are going to fuel our body rather than working against us. They're going to work for us. So step number one, this might sound like a no-brainer. I'm going to get nitty gritty in a minute, but I'm going to give you the no-brainers first. Focus on whole healthy foods. And by the way, at the end, I do have a surprise for you. So if you stick to the end, I got a surprise for you. What are the benefits of whole nutrient dense foods? Well, you got stable energy levels, right? Reduce hunger cravings, right? Better satiety. I say it all the time, but why? If you go eat processed foods, and I talk about this all the time in my videos, if you have foods that have maltodextrin, it's a very simple carbohydrate, converts quickly to glucose, which is blood sugar, or you have things that have dextrose in it, or all this other crap, all this food starch. It spikes your blood sugar. It causes an increase. And yes, of course, when you eat carbs and sugars, that's what happens. That's natural. But it brings it up very high. And then your body's got to release insulin to bring it back down. And you start having this roller coaster of energy levels. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? You have let's say you guys have cereal or oatmeal for breakfast. You put some brown sugar on it, whatever. Or you go to who goes to McDonald's and gets an egg McMuffin, or goes to some fast food place and just gets a breakfast sandwich, or you go to Starbucks and you get the sausage, egg, and cheddar, or the bacon, egg, and Gouda. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, loaded in maltodextrin and crap like that. And you get this burst of energy and you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to slam a coffee. I'm going to have my Frappuccino in the morning. It's just loaded in sugar. So you get this energy rush. You get to the office and you're like, yeah, I'm great. And then by the time you're done drinking that thing and you're 45 minutes into work, you're like, oh crap, I'm getting tired. I need another cup of coffee and I'm going to put some creamer in it that's got some sugar. And maybe I'll have an energy drink too. But it's just constant. By the time the day is over and you're heading home from work, you're just like, holy crap, I'm tired. You fight your way in traffic. You get home. The kid's like, go play with me. You're like, F it. I'm going to go sit on the couch. I need to watch my show. House of Dragon is on. Don't bother me. Is this real? Is this real or what? Tell me if you feel this, because this is literally what I see all day long. If you eat whole healthy foods, the foods that I talk about all the time in my videos, you don't get these crazy glucose spikes. You don't have this roller coaster of, highs and lows with your energy. And your body doesn't have this overall inflammation, so you're not feeling drained at the end of the day. And a lot of people are going to be like, yo, Gabbi, whole foods, they're boring as, I don't want to eat boring stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to count calories and macros and do all this stuff. I'm like, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Let's say you don't eat whole healthy foods, but you do count your calories and you do count your macros. But you go eat a bunch of garbage. While you could lose some weight in the process, your body is still going to hate you on the inside, and you're still going to have this roller coaster upside down, all over the place. Stanford proved in 2018, doesn't matter what you eat. If you eat more, as far as calories are concerned, than you burn in a day, we burn a certain amount of calories in a 24-hour period, you will lose weight. If you eat more, you'll gain weight. End of story. So that's good, right? But what you eat has a direct effect on whether you're losing body fat or muscle mass and how you feel, and whether you're starving and hungry 20 minutes after you eat, or you have energy or you don't have energy. So the things that you're eating directly affect how you feel and your ability to lose body fat, because you can lose body fat and lose muscle simultaneously. It's crazy. So me personally, I find eating healthy is anything but boring. Why? Because at the end of the day, I have all the energy in the world to go do whatever I want to do. Like the other night, it was 7:00 at night. It was getting dark. Mia's like, you want to go play volleyball? I'm like, yeah, let's go. I worked a full day. I'd done my cardio. I was getting ready to just wind down. And she's like, let's go play volleyball. I'm like, okay, let's go. How many of you got kids and want to go play with your kids, but you just don't have the energy half the time? You're like, God, I can't do it. Or you got to go fill up on sugar and like have a Red Bull or something before you do that. I'm so curious. Let me know who knows what I'm talking about, because this is very real. These are things I hear from my clients all the time. Yep, there it is. Thank you, Ree. Appreciate that. Okay, let's move on. So my experience from switching to a healthier diet is all these things that I've just talked about. I have more energy. I have more mental clarity. I'm clear in the head. I get so much done, and I'm far more motivated, exponentially more motivated to accomplish my goals. Like I said, I got more energy to spend with my daughter, and I have more motivation to see success in the other areas of my life. And it's all because of what I am feeding my body. It is because of nutrition. And if you feel me, that is anything but boring. I've tried unhealthy. Trust me, you saw my pictures. I've tried unhealthy. I've done it. I've done both. Comparing the two, I would choose this over anything else. And that's why it's my life's mission to bring this to you in a way that you can digest and you can understand. I know some of you right now are probably dealing with, yeah, but I want to do this, but this. If you have a self-limiting belief that you feel like what I'm talking about, all these incredible things that I'm experiencing myself, if you feel like it's impossible, put it in the comments. Tell me, like, what is it? What is your self-limiting belief? What do you feel is the one thing that is preventing you from having everything that I have as far as what I just talked about? Is it time? Is it energy? Is it money? Is it, you're stressed about work? Is it fighting with the spouse? So like, what is your personal self-limiting belief? I'm going to look over here on the screen. Every time I look to this side, you guys see my head turn. I'm looking at the comments to see what you guys are saying. Time. Lily, she says time. Stacy, emotional eating. Courtney says money. Yeah, money and energy. Okay, these are good. These are good. These are all very common ones. I want you to stick around because I'm going to show you why it is possible. Because I've seen every one of these. I've been in your shoes. I'm going to show you exactly why it is possible. Remember, I have done this with thousands of people that have been successful. And I truly believe that you can do this too. All right, let's talk about common pitfalls. So foods that derail progress. What are those, guys? Do you know what foods are going to derail progress? First of all, it's going to be things that create more hunger cravings for you. This is, again, why I'm going and doing all these reviews on foods that you ask for and showing you what triggers more hunger cravings. Refined carbs, refined sugars, those things that are very highly processed. They cause a hunger hormone. It's called ghrelin, Grelin, to be released in higher quantities. That is your hunger hormone, and it makes you very hungry when you're done eating. You might feel satiated momentarily, but the second your stomach starts to empty, you start having ravenous hunger. Sodas, sweets, fast foods, all this stuff contributes to more hunger cravings. It is the most common pitfall that I see. Now, should you completely avoid them? Absolutely not. No way. Remember, what do I always say? What is my tagline that I always say? Life is about what? Life is about balance. I swear by it so much. It's funny. I brought my little shirt. You guys see it? Life is about balance. I had shirts made. By the way, they're in my link tree if you want them. But life is about balance, guys. We have to have a balance. So if we eat properly for most of the time, it is totally okay to go out there and enjoy from time to time. In fact, that's how you keep your sanity, and that's how you do this sustainably for the long run. And if I was starting from scratch tomorrow, which I had to do recently, I'll tell you guys, I was trying to put on some weight to get a fat transfer. And I've got some things that are filming in May, and I would not be ready in time. I would not be recovered in time to do what I need to do. So I had to backtrack. I'm about 12 pounds up from where I need to be. But the first thing I did was get all this crap out of my diet. I'm like, okay, this is leaving. I literally went in my closet, in my pantry, and I just threw everything out. Because if it's in the house, I'm going to eat it. That is my biggest pitfall. You know what I'm talking about? If raise your hand, put it in the comments. If it's in the house, you're going to eat it. The first thing I do, I know it seems like a waste of food. And for those of you that are on a budget, I understand. But if you have the ability, just throw it out and go eat fresh, throw it out. Like, what do you want more? What is your why? How powerful is your why? Because my why is like, screw it. I don't want this stuff in the house. Excuse me. I don't want this anywhere near me. So if it's out, I'm fine. And I start from scratch. And here's what I see a lot. Oh God, my microphone's falling. Stay. Don't go anywhere. Come back. There we go. So let's talk about some easy swaps that you guys can do. So I got everybody's favorite bag of Flamin' Hot Doritos right here, right? What can we swap this for? These are very easy swaps. Mixed nuts. Rather than this spikes your glucose, spikes your blood sugar, makes you incredibly hungry. It's loaded with all sorts of other crap. This is not helping you any. You would have the same amount of calories in mixed nuts. It does not spike your glucose. It will fill you up even more. And you can have a handful of these and not worry about it. Boom. But I never got these. We've got Skittles. Who just dives into stuff like this when you're hungry? Just a handful. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's there. Like, I'll get it. No problem. You dive into this. Instead of that, let's try this. You get some pure dark chocolate. There's no sugar in this stuff. Now, if you were to eat the whole bar, it'd be crazy. There's a ton of calories in this. But for, it's not even a ton, but it's 280 calories. But if you were to have a couple small squares of this, strawberries or grapes, banana, you get the chocolate and the sweetness, you're good. This is stuff I do. This is stuff I do all the time. So there's another swap. Cereal. Who has cereal every day or has it in their house? Put it in the comments. This is one that Mia really likes that I refuse to put in the house anymore. I just won't do it. Who has cereal? Because tons of people die for this. Oh, I didn't bring my oatmeal up. I was going to show you oatmeal. I forgot. The swap is oatmeal. I mean, we don't want to do the instant oatmeal either. The instant oatmeal has tons of sugars, has all sorts of additives. What you want to do is get something like Bob's Red Mill Oats. Remember, I'm not paid or sponsored by anybody. And you can microwave it for 2 minutes. It's like a half cup of oats, 1 cup of water in a bowl, stick it in the microwave. You're done in 2 minutes. Add a little allulose to it, put a little fruit on top. You're good. Not only will it not spike your insulin and glucose so much that you're going to have this rush and then crash, it actually gives you long-term energy because it's a complex carbohydrate. So very simple swaps. Processed meats, chicken and beef. That's kind of self-explanatory. Processed meats got a bunch of crap in it. Some of them have things like carrageenan, dextrose and maltodextrin. Again, just they add all sorts of garbage to it and it makes you feel terrible. But if you go to just raw chicken and beef, you cook it up, you do a little meal prep, you're good to go. Very, very simple. Let's see. Banana apple with all natural peanut butter. That's another great one. Sabrina, thank you. I love that. That's fantastic. Okay. Making sense? You guys think this is all pretty simple? Good. Because we get down, like I said, we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're almost there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start making small, impactful changes. So a lot of times people dive in 100%. But if we do these little tiny things and we start stacking them up on top of each other, they're going to have bigger effects. It's little tricks here and there that start adding up. So what are some of the easiest and most impactful changes you can do? Well, you can start with this. You can start looking for things that are not processed and start taking some time to meal prep. Start taking time like twice a week. I do Sundays and I do Wednesdays. Spend about an hour cooking. I put it all in little Tupperware containers and I stick it in the fridge. Anytime I'm hungry, I go grab it. It's a minute in the microwave and I'm done. But there's other things you can do. You can drink a glass or two of water every meal. You can have protein with every meal. So if you are diving for a bag of Doritos, you're barely getting any protein. Barely getting any protein. And protein helps satiate your hunger. When you eat more protein, you eat less carbs and less fats, and you're satiated longer. So if you can remember to have protein with every meal, you're going to make monstrous changes. And proteins are going to be eggs. They're going to be any meats. Those are the best protein or protein powders. If you're vegan and vegetarian, it's a little bit different. You're going to be getting vegetarian from eggs, but vegan, you get it from like Seitan, 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 sorry, or tofu. And organic is always the best way to go. But then cut back a little bit. Those sugary treats, those Skittles you have, cut back, start cutting back. You don't got to get them all out at once, but if you set goals, you start cutting back, you're going to make big, big changes. Okay, let's talk about balance and sustainable eating. Who is the all or nothing type? Put it in the comments. What, like when New Year's came around, you had your New Year's resi? Who dove in and was like, I'm going all out. I'm going 5 days a week. I'm going to do an hour and a half in the gym. I'm cutting out all the sugars and the treats, and I'm just going to go ham. Who did that? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Maria did it. Thank you. I know tons that did that. I know tons of people that do, and there's nothing wrong with it. Courtney did it. Amelia did it. Yeah. Krista did it. Kimberly did it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being that motivated. I love that you are so motivated that you do that. However, here's what is sustainable. Balance. Remember my t-shirt? Life is about balance. What is the golden rule for weight loss? It is the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule, guys. 80% of the time, eat whole foods. Eat the way that I'm talking to you about right now. And then 20% of the time, you got a little room, got a little wiggle room. You can go do what you want. But keeping this in mind, I have a golden rule for you when it comes to this, the 80-20 rule. It's called the domino effect. And I want you to remember, it's not about perfection. That's not the end game. It is progression is the end game. But the domino trick, if you have one domino sitting there and it's just kind of doing this, it's not going to cause any problems. But when you do two, when one hits the next, then we have this domino effect and all the dominoes start to fall. So my rule of thumb is it's okay to deviate once, but never miss 2 meals on your meal plan. Never miss 2 workouts. It's the domino effect, the 2-by rule. If you miss a meal, don't get down on yourself. Go enjoy, go have your quote unquote cheat meal, but the next meal, right back on the horse, eating whole foods like we talked about. Same with the workout. If you miss a day because you're just exhausted, you got the kids, whatever's going on, life is just happening to you, don't stress. But the next day, go back to it. It's when people miss more than one workout, they start missing 2, they start missing 2 meals. That's when the domino effect falls. Very, very simple rule. Very simple rule. All right, guys, here's the quiz. Ready? And remember, surprise at the end of this. Which snacks are the healthiest? What do you think are some of the healthiest snacks out there that are easy to grab off the shelf? Okay. Do you think it's going to be this legendary pastry protein? What do you think? Do you think this is going to be one of the healthiest snacks for you? What do you think? Because it's got a bunch of garbage in it. And they boast on the front 20 grams of protein and 4 grams of net carbs. And it's got all this cool, pretty stuff on the front. It looks amazing, right? But when you dive into it, 9 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, and only 1 sugar. Well, that looks great, but it's got artificial sweeteners in it. It's got sunflower oil, which is a seed oil. It actually triggers your endocannabinoid receptors in your gut. It triggers hunger cravings, and it shuttles more of the nutrients. So this is important. Seed oils, they trigger this endocannabinoid receptor that cause lipogenesis. It causes your body to uptake nutrients into your fat cells. You have, and this is very important, you have a finite amount of fat cells that you're born with. We all have a certain number. When you lose quote unquote body fat, they're just getting deflated. They're getting dehydrated. They're getting smaller. And when you have more body fat, they're just full of fats. That's basically what it is. Seed oils cause it to be uptaken into that. Bunch of artificial dyes that wreak havoc on your stomach. What about the Alpha Prime Bites brownies? What do you think of this? This good? This healthy? Because I mean, it's got 19 grams of protein and 5 grams of collagen in it. It's got to be healthy, right? Right? Foolish mortals, Orlando, you're awesome. Guys, this is a brownie that they added whey protein to. End of story. I mean, this is such garbage. 19 grams of carbs, 4 grams of added sugars, 6 grams of sugars total. And then inside of it, they've got erythritol, which is an artificial sweetener that I won't touch because it has shows the mechanisms of blood clots. Lenny and Larry's, I ate these for years. Same thing. Boasting on the label, 16 grams of protein. Like if it has protein on the label, we're like, oh yeah, let's grab it. Same problem, guys. And in the back, serving size, half a cookie. Not the whole cookie, half a cookie. So remember, if you eat the whole cookie, this is 440 calories of garbage. 5 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbs, but you got to double that. So it's 10 grams of fat and 70 grams of carbs and all this other garbage in it. This is not healthy. This is how people fall down that rabbit hole. When I tell you these things trigger hunger cravings and it's just not good for you, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. Does this make sense? Whole foods are the way to go. Go buy your whole foods, start meal prepping. Let's get into training. I love this. Train harder. No, absolutely not. Train smarter, not harder. So how many of you guys go to the gym or you do your workout and you spend an hour or more in there? Put it in the comments. How long do you usually spend on your workout? Because the majority of people I talk to will spend an hour, if not an hour and a half, because they want to do their weights, they want to do their resistance training, and they want to do their cardio. Tell me who spends how much time in there. I'm very curious because the average is about 90 minutes. 2 hours, Maria. There we go. Okay, 2 hours. Who else? An hour. Taisha, it's great. 45 minutes in Pilates, good. An hour. So we're averaging about an hour, right? Yeah. Okay, let's get in here. I'm going to tell you how to do it smarter. I'll tell you how to make more progress. How to train smarter, not harder. Okay, let's talk about the most common mistakes that I see as you're getting into either working out at the gym or working out at home or doing your cardio, because we know that nutrition is 80% of the game. And you're making these tweaks. Now we have to go take care of our bodies. We have to do exercise to burn those calories and to start losing that body fat. And there are several ways to do that: cardio, resistance training, that sort of stuff. Let's dive into it. The common mistakes that I see are people jumping in too fast. We talked about that momentarily or previously. And it creates all this stress on the body. You jump in super fast. You go with that all or nothing mentality. Your body just completely freaks out. You have all this stress, all this cortisol is released, and you fall off the wagon very quickly. The other thing I see is people weighing in every single day. Does anybody here step on the scale every single day? I'm very curious, because with my clients, I have them step on the scale once a week. Your body will fluctuate in weight. We don't poop out everything we eat in a single day. Remember that. We do not poop out everything we eat in a single day. So we could eat more in one day. It could be hanging around. You step on the scale. You're like, oh my, well, it went up ½ pound. Well, you just didn't poop it out. Also, sodium is huge. It can cause you to retain more water. So if you had something with a little more sodium the day before, the next day when you weigh yourself, you're going to weigh more. Or if you weigh yourself in the evening versus the morning, you're going to weigh more. You got all the water, all the food, everything you've been eating. You're the heaviest in the evening for the day. Yeah, weighing in every day and not trusting the program is the worst. If you weigh yourself once a week, though, think of it like the stock market. Your weight's going to go up and down all week, but you'll see a trend. You'll see a nice, steady trend, one direction or another. And then one of the biggest I see is people assuming that calories do not count. I'm a big fan of eating in the pantry with the door closed. I'm like, if it's in the dark and the door's closed, calories don't count, right? If I'm in the closet and I'm in the corner, calories don't count. If nobody sees me, calories don't count. But what I'm saying is that when it comes down to calories, like, oh, I'll just have one or two of these, or I'll just, I'm going to get a Starbucks or something. And you don't really think of that as being a meal or a calorie, or I'm going to have this energy drink, or I'm going to have this drink, or I'm going to eat this little tiny thing. I don't have to track it. You got to track everything that goes down your esophagus, literally, with the exception of water. Everything has calories. And Stanford proved, like I said, in 2018, we all burn a certain amount of calories in a day, in a 24-hour period, not just when you're working out. I always say this on my lives. When I'm flapping to my gums, I'm burning calories. You burn a certain amount. It's called your basal metabolic rate. If you eat less than whatever you burn in a 24-hour period, you lose weight. If you eat more, you don't. And that's where calories sneak in. My clients that don't make progress, I'm like, okay, journal everything. Forget the app. Go outside, get a piece of paper, write it down every single day, and then take screenshots and show me. Every time we find it. Every time we find it. Now, why is exercise important? It's because you're burning calories while you're doing exercise. It raises that basal metabolic rate. So how many calories you burn in a day goes up. Why? Well, because we're working out, but also because when you're done, your bloodstream still consumes oxygen. So you've heard that, oh, somebody has a higher metabolism. You've heard that before? Yeah. It's because their bloodstream still consuming oxygen when they're done. It's called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. When you do workouts, when you do cardio, your body's metabolism increases and you burn more calories the rest of the day. It's incredible. Now, I already covered most of this. Sorry. I got a couple more bullet points here. One of the other common mistakes I see is people. Oh yeah, by the way, that was my comeback match in June. That was at the Irvine Spectrum last year when I came back to wrestling, and that was J-Rod. We tore the house down, packed it. It was the Irvine Improv, a big venue. We sold it out. Went 20-something minutes, just killed it. It was great. Felt great. I was eating Whole Foods. What can I say? But here's one of the biggest mistakes I see is people spending more time strength training than they do cardio. Who goes to the gym and does weights? I'm curious, or resistance training of some kind. Let me know. Put it in the comments. This is the biggest mistake I see. And don't leave, because I have science to back this up. And what I see is that in this study, this incredible study that Duke University did in 2012, they ended up with 236 participants in it. They found that cardio was 4 times more effective than strength training when it came to losing body fat. Not just weight, but we're talking body fat. And I know you're going to hear trainers be like, no, cardio is more, or I'm sorry, strength training is more effective because you burn calories after. Well, guess what? When you do cardio, you also have that same effect, and cardio is actually better. And I can cite that study and go into details, but I don't think we need to. But what people do when they do this, they will go in and they will do strength training. This is another pitfall, another mistake I see. They will go strength training. And strength training is when you go into the gym, you do like between 4 and 10 reps a set, maybe 12, and you try to go heavy. Does this sound familiar, guys? When you go to the gym, it's like an ego thing. You like lifting heavy is how I build muscle, right? I'm curious who kind of thinks this. And there's no wrong or right answer here, because part of lifting heavy, or part of lifting weights and getting muscle is lifting heavier. That's one way to do it. But you have two types of muscle fibers. You have type 1 and type 2, and you must use both of them. So if you're going in and trying to do 10 reps a set, 8 reps a set, 6 reps a set, 12 reps a set, and you're just lifting heavy, taking a couple minutes rest in between, that's strength training. You're trying to get that 1 rep max on your squats or your deadlifts, so you can just be like, yeah, I deadlifted a plate, or I squatted, $185 on the bar. Like, I know a lot of the girls want to feel like, okay, I'm lifting heavy. It means my peach is going to grow, right? I know this sounds familiar, but the most effective way to build muscles is through what's called hypertrophy. It is not strength training. It is hypertrophy. Now, hypertrophy is when you flood the muscle with blood. And what happens is that muscle expands, and there's a sheath around it. It's called the fascia. And that fascia gets these little micro tears in it as it stretches. And then overnight, when you're resting and you're eating all those whole foods I talked about, it starts to heal itself, but it's stronger than it was before. That's your muscle growing. And that's what we want to do. And that happens when you work with when you use hypertrophic workouts. Sorry. So how do we do this? Well, we start by doing more reps. So instead of doing 12 reps, I have people do like 20 reps in a set. I know you have to drop the weight a little bit. It's a little humbling, but you're going to start to feel the burn. You start to feel the pump, but also by cutting our rest times in half. Most people rest for 2 to 3 minutes in between sets. I'm talking 60 seconds. But then I also incorporate things like drop sets, supersets, trisets, and giant sets. A drop set is when, let's say you do a singular exercise, like let's say you're squatting, or here we go, leg press. Leg press. Yeah, girls, you do 20 reps. It's going to change your life. Let's say you do a leg press and you started your sets with 20 reps. And then every set, you kind of dropped it down. You went 20, 18, 14 to 16, 10 to 12, something like that. So on the 4th set, you're in like the 10 to 12 range, and you're putting on a little more weight every time on the leg press. On that last set, as soon as you're done with your reps, without taking any rest, you start pulling some weight off. So it's lighter, and then boom, you go right back to it. Just pumping them out. Try to get another 20 if you can, or go till your legs just don't work. It's called failure. Then get up, take some more weight off, do it again. Yeah, you'd be walking like a baby giraffe, honey, but that's the goal. You should be crawling out of that gym on leg day when you're done. That's the goal. But supersets are the same way. Supersets are 2 exercises for the same muscle group. So you could do something like lunges. You could start with lunges and then go to leg press without rest in between. So you do 20 lunges, and then immediately walk over to leg press machine, boom, do 20 reps on the leg press, and then take your rest. That's a superset. A triset is 3 things in a row. A giant set would be 4 or more. So these are tricks I use, but what happens? You're increasing the amount of blood that's going into your muscle cells, right? You're doing it faster than you would if you were just doing strength training. I'm doubling the volume that you're doing. You're doing way more work in a short amount of time. It increases your BMR. It's higher intensity. And so you're increasing how much oxygen your bloodstream is consuming when you're done. That excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, your metabolism is going up beyond if you just went in and did regular strength training. These are the tricks that I use to get people results very quickly. That 3 pounds a week I was talking about losing, this is how you do it. Let's see. I'm looking at some of I feel like a broken T-Rex after drop sets. I love it. Shane, burpees will work too, but that's more cardio than anything. If we're doing resistance training, you want to stick to the weights and the machines. Save a functional day. I mean, you can do burpees if you want. It's getting your heart rate up, but it's not working that same muscle. The idea is to pick the muscle group you want to work, like say your legs, and you really want to target the quads or the hamstrings or the glutes specifically. Burpees are going to work your upper body as well, and you're not focusing on the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. So how to train smarter, not harder. So like I said, the average person does about 4 sets of 10 reps, right? Maybe 12 if you're lucky. And you're going to rest about 2 to 3 minutes in between set. That's pretty average. and you do 4 to 5 exercises per workout. So here's a conservative estimate. If you do 4 sets, 10 reps, 5 exercises, 2 minutes rest, you are spending 40 minutes of your time at the gym or in your workout resting. That is a buttload of time resting, right? There it is, Kelsey, right there. That's what I do. Let me show you the glow method. You ready? This is going to blow your mind. Here we go. 1 minute rest in between sets. 1 minute rest. Use drop sets, supersets, giant sets. And what's going to happen is you're going to double or triple the volume of work that you're doing. It's not the actual lifting part that takes a ton of time. People spend a bunch of time resting. You are going to see a 60% decrease in your rest time, and you're going to shave off 60% of the time that you're sitting in the gym doing nothing. Bring your phone, set the timer on your phone. I've been using it for decades. Ever since I had the iPhone, I always set the timer and I watch it. The second I put the weights down or the machine down, boom, I hit the timer, 60 seconds, and away I go. But it's going to be 16 minutes of resting. 16 minutes versus 40. That's a massive decrease. You're going to exponentially increase the amount of volume, and volume is how much you are lifting and the weight. So you're going to do more reps in fewer time. You're going to do double the work in half the time, basically, is what's going to happen. You're going to increase the calories that you're burning during your workout because it's way more intense, and you're going to have that afterburn effect, the epoch effect that I just talked about. This is how you sustainably do this. Drop sets, Courtney, drop sets are when you do one exercise only. So you're not doing multiple exercises. You're doing one, like say squats or leg press or even lunges or leg extensions. When you're done with your last set, without resting, you drop the weight. The last set should be your heaviest. And then you drop the weight down significantly. Sometimes you cut it in half or more. And then you go back and do as many as you can. You try to get 10, 20 reps afterwards and just completely exhaust that muscle. That's a drop set. Okay. Now, what else can we do to burn more calories? Here's some very simple ones. If the latter seemed complicated, or the last thing I talked about seemed a little complicated, doesn't fit you, well, here's some other things you can do in the meantime. Walk after each meal. It lowers your blood sugar. 10-minute walk will lower your blood sugar, and you'll burn about 80 calories while doing it. Helps with digestion, too. Stand up once an hour. You guys got I don't have my Apple Watch. It's charging. I've got my bracelet on. If you have an Apple Watch, set the timer. Reminder to stand up, walk around the office. Just take a breather. 80 calories, done. And you're going to get your metabolism going. One extra errand a day. And if you go grocery shopping, how many of you just go putt around the parking lot looking for like the first 5 spaces so you don't have to walk? Yeah, I'm guilty of that. What I will tell you, I changed my ways. When Britt and I go to the grocery store to film, or if I go to the grocery store, I just park in the back. I'm like, I'm going to get my steps in. Like every moment of your life counts. And rather than sitting and just hunting for a parking space, like I park in the back and I hoof it in. I'm like, dude, that's however far that is. It's an entire parking lot of steps I'm getting. That's raising my metabolism. Remember, the more active you are, the more your metabolism is going to raise. And if you're bored and you don't, you're doing cardio, listen to a podcast. I call it now. No opportunity wasted. This is what I tell my clients. It's part of my BPM training. It's no opportunity wasted. Like find something that you want to listen to or watch and do it while you're walking. We talked about parking a car further away and get a step counter. Use your Apple Watch. Shoot for 8,000 steps a day. That's going to help boost that BMR. Okay. And this is what I call the EE roll. Extremely easy. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. Now, let's go build some sustainable habits. It's the art of achieving big goals and staying motivated. Who's ready to learn how to do this for the long run? Raise your hand, say aye. If you're still with me, if you're still digging this, if you're excited because now you've kind of got a general understanding of what I do and how I get my clients to their goals way faster, 30 to 43% faster, who wants to do this sustainably for the long run? Yeah, you should be taking notes. 10 cc's. Hi, Brenda. Brenda's one of our newish clients, seeing incredible progress. Hi, honey. Great to see you. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about sustainable progress. How do we set a goal? Oh, too far. There we go. How do we set a goal? So let's look at Mount Everest right here, right? This is my little Mount Everest I stuck in here. And we're going to climb it. We're going to go set out to climb it. Let's say we got 30 pounds to lose. Feels like you have to climb Mount Everest, right? When you look at losing 30 pounds, it feels almost impossible. You're like, there's no way. Dude, how do I do this? I'd have to train for a lifetime. I got to hire a Sherpa and get a goat to go with me in case it gets cold. I got to slaughter the goat and eat it. And I don't know. Like it's a whole thing. And I got to get tickets to Everest. Like this is a job. Ain't nobody got time for this. Right? Well, how do we break it down and make it so that it is possible? Well, here's what you do. You set the first goal. And the first goal, is just getting started. That's all you got to do is just take that first step. Commit to getting started. And then what's the second goal? Well, maybe the second goal is that you learn your nutrition for the first week. Eat on your nutrition plan, whatever it is that you've decided, whether it's one that I give you, one that you've got from the internet for some other company, or that you've decided to do yourself from just what you've learned here. Make it your goal for 1 week to just eat like that. This is the opposite of diving in, going all out, right? We're doing sustainable. And then let's say week 2, let's just do 3 days of exercise. That's it. So now you've gotten started, you've got your nutrition for a week, and then week 2, we're just putting a little more. We're just adding a little bit to it. Let's do 3 days of exercise a week. Okay. Week 4, set the goal to lose 5 pounds sustainably in 2 to 3 weeks. That sounds reasonable, right? Who thinks they can lose 5 pounds in 2 to 3 weeks? Because I know every single person on this webinar can do that. 5 pounds in 2 to 3 weeks. I know everybody can do that. Okay, now we got a little exercise going on. Let's add some resistance training. Let's toss that in there. And before you know it, all this is adding up and you've got all these tiny successes. I don't even say tiny, they're small successes. Your brain is being trained every time you succeed and you celebrate that. You release this hormone called dopamine. It's the reinforcement hormone. It is what causes your brain to go, ooh, I like that. Let's do more of it. That is what you're doing. Set these small goals, just simple small goals, and show your mind that you can succeed. Easy, right? Right. So how do we set a goal? How does this look for somebody like me? Well, I figure out exactly what I think I need to lose or what I need to gain, and I get a why. Like I talked about in the beginning, you get a why. It's not how, it is what? It's the why. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not a dance of roses. This journey, this climbing Everest, it's not a dance of roses. There are ups and downs. I want to use victim. I fall in the pitfalls. I'm human. It happens to me too. And it goes up and down. You have your good days and your bad days. But as long as you are continuously making progress and you're doing something different than you've done before and you identify what those pitfalls are and you change it, you're on the right track. You've got to keep your eye on the prize and you have to know that why. It must be in the front of your mind. One step at a time. It is one step at a time. And then, okay, I made it this far. Can I do a little more? You're on a treadmill. You made it 10 minutes. Can I go 10 minutes and 30 seconds? Yes. And that's the bar for next time. Once you do it, you can do it next time too, right? Right. I'm going to give you an example. I was in wrestling practice this week, and I'm the head coach over at AAPW. It's one of the largest wrestling schools here in Austin. It's pro wrestling. And I always tell the students, I'm like, I'll never put you through a drill that I can't do myself. And I get there 2 hours early. I get there at 5 o'clock. I work my butt off, like it's a private training session for me and a couple of guys that I pull in there till 7. So we work for 2 hours in blistering heat, high intensity. The other day I burned 4,000 calories. So this is the type of intense workouts that I do. Then from 7 to 9:30, I coach the kids, but I say kids, they're 30-year-old men, most of them. I call them kids because I'm 46. But I put them through these drills and I tell them, if I can't do it, I'm not going to make you do it. Well, we had this crazy drill where I'm sure you've seen guys run the ropes in wrestling. We do it in pairs. So you hold their hand, they run, and you're kind of just going with them. You're just flipping back and forth in the center. And then you reverse it and it's your turn to run. And then you're running and they're running and then you're dropping down and it's just a crazy drill, right? And I got giraffe legs, baby giraffe legs from working out earlier. And the kids are done. I'm like, well, crap, I got to do this. And so I looked at my friend Tyson. I'm like, Tyson, let's go. And about halfway through the drill, I just looked at him like, I can't finish. I'm dead in the water. And he looks at me, he's like, you can do this. You're the leader. You must finish this. And that's all it took. Just a quick reminder. I'm like, yep, got it. Boom. When I was dead in the water, I didn't think I had any more. I was able to reach down into the gas tank and find more fuel. That is the power of your why. If you know your why, no matter how tired you are, it is not the how, it's the why. It's the why. That's how powerful it is. Look where it got me. Oops, sorry. 52 days, 32.2 pounds. That's where it got me. Right there. Incredible, right? All right, last thing. Track your progress and adjust as needed. If you can measure it, you can manage it. If you're guessing, if you're flying by the seat of your pants, you can only get so far. It's a science, and you have to be able to track it and measure it. But there are ways to do it without being so nitpicky. And I'm going to show you some ways that you can win, how to stick to the plan and win without being super nitpicky and tracky. We use these things called non-scale victories. So this would be, we got our girl on the left here. She's down a couple of pant sizes and you're feeling like, oh my God, I got to tighten this belt buckle one more. That's a win. Celebrate that. Or our friend in the middle here, it's supposed to be a battery charging, like on the cell phone. I know I do the best I can with clip art, sorry. But you have more energy. You're feeling like you're 2 weeks in, you're 3 weeks in, you're like, God, I've got so much more energy. I feel great. I'm clear in the head. This is amazing. That's a win. That's a non-scale victory. Or our friend on the right, she's down a shirt size and she doesn't have the muffin top anymore. It's like, I'm noticing some changes in the way my clothes fit. Do not always rely on the scale, because the scale doesn't always tell the truth. The scale doesn't tell you that you're gaining muscle while you're losing body fat. And that's why it's not moving. Remember that. We must look at muscle mass and we must look at body fat, because the scale is going to lie. And it doesn't tell you if you're on your cycle. It doesn't tell you that you're retaining water because of your estrogen and your levels. Girls, your estrogen fluctuates daily. I'm lucky. I take a shot every week and mine's pretty consistent, but I can tell you towards the end of the week, it starts to dip. And right after the shot, it's a little high. And I'm like, yeah, I'm retaining a little water. I feel that. So it doesn't show the whole picture. Now let's look at this. I'm going to show you how, I said it's not a dance of roses. It goes up and down. This is my client. This is Summer. And I'm going to tell you why it's important to adjust your plan. If you look at her graph here, you can see it wasn't a straight line. This is not a straight line. Down 31 pounds, right? But it goes up and down. It's not a straight line. Every time she stepped on the scale, you can see, it was like, right. Let me do my little laser pointer. It's like, look at this right here. Boop, went up. Right here, boop. Yep, went up. All this. Like, that's the kind of things you're going to experience. But changing nutrition is important. If you do what got you to base camp and you try to go to the summit with the same nutrition and the same workouts, it's not going to get you there. If you look, we started with a vegan meal plan. And she had, let me see here, 2,000-ish calories. And then in March, we changed it to something that had 1,700 calories. And we saw some good progress. Then we went back to vegan high calorie. We took her up to 2,000 calories again. But she's still losing weight. Why? Because she put on more muscle, and that muscle needs more calories to survive. And we switched it again. We went down to 1,700, and we finished her with more than she started, keto vegan. 2,100 calories when she started, more than she started with, but yet she still lost 31 pounds. That is the power of nutrition and why we have to change it. That is the power behind it. What do you need to not do? I'm sorry, that was bad. What do you need to do to not get to your goal? Does anybody know? We've walked through a lot of what to do, but what do you have to not do to get to your goal? Anybody know? Put it in the comments for me. What do you have to not do? Tell me. Be consistent. Kim, thank you. Yep. Yep. It is what? Start. Susan, you simply have to not start. If you do what you've been doing, if you do the same thing you've always done and you do it over and over again, expecting different results, what is that? It is the definition of what? Insanity. You must change what you're doing. You must take that first step. You must get started, and you must do something different than you've done before. Let me tell you about how I see life. This is an hourglass. Everybody's hourglass is upside down. The sands of time are flowing through it. And no matter how bad you want to take this sand that's falling and you want to stuff it back into the top of this hourglass, you cannot. None of us can. And the crazy part is, every one of us, we have a different amount of sand in our hourglass. We didn't all start with the same amount. And none of us know when this sand is going to run out. Not a single one. It could run out momentarily. It could run out tomorrow. It could run out in a decade, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. We could live an extra 100 years. Who knows with science? But we don't know. And every moment that you don't get started is a moment that you cannot put the sand back up top and you cannot change. Do you choose to let the sand fall and not make a change because you cannot get that time back? Or do you choose to take action? That is your choice in life. Where is your hourglass right now? Where is your hourglass? So at this moment, I'm going to ask you, are you ready to make a change in your life? If you've taken this information and you feel good about it, you feel confident, are you ready to make a change in your life at this moment? Raise your hand, say I, put it in the comments, tell me you're ready. Doesn't matter how young or how old you are. I've coached clients that are in their 70s. Like, are you ready to make a change in your life? Tell me right now. Leah, Heather, Shane, Susan, Jennifer, Brenda's ready. I love this. Here we go. This is the confidence comeback I'm telling you about right now. I wouldn't be presenting this to you if I didn't have a solution for you. So here is my promise. These are the things I'm going to promise you. With Glow Coaching, here's what's going to happen. You will achieve your dream physique. You absolutely will. I can guarantee that. You're going to lose between 1 and 3 pounds a week. You will not be limited by your health. And you'll become the very best version of yourself. I know we hear that all the time. I'm going to be my very best self. We're going to actually help you identify what that looks like. Instead of just saying it to say it because everybody says it, we're going to help you articulate that. And you're going to get a whole new level of confidence that you've never had before. And you get my team as your personal mentors. That is my promise to you. I want you to look at this really quick. I'm going to give you a couple of quick things. This is Madison. Madison's incredible. She's been on my stories several times. She dropped 14 pounds of body fat. She's got a toned, strong body. She really didn't have any experience training before. This is her before and after. And the nutrition that we gave her saved her $97 a month, thereabouts, on her food budget. Yeah, I know you hear, oh God, if I eat, it's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat out. No, it's not. I've proven it several times, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. This is Kristen Gleason, another one of my favorite clients. She's absolutely such a sweetheart. 26 pounds down, never really had true confidence. Now she does. She's all smiles. I talk to her consistently. She's amazing. She learned balance, learned a healthy lifestyle. $89 a month she saved on her food budget. And then Martina Duran, sorry, Martina. She was in college. She was an athlete. She dropped 19 pounds. Clothes fit better. She put the same shorts on and everything just so she could do the before and after picture for us. She's happier and healthier, and she's never looked back. And you can save. And what you can't see because my frame's in the way down here, like you save $160 a month with 3 people. The average person in our program saves between $90 and $130 a month on their food budget. That is how incredible it is to eat at home. I mean, literally what we do almost pays for itself at that point. Like if you can save, who would want to save $90 to $130 on their food budget? Yeah, and no Chick-fil-A. If you saw my video today, Shane, thank you. Put in the comment if you wanted to save $90 to $130 on your food, would you like to know how to do that? Because I can tell you how. It's crazy, right? Who would love to save $90 to $100 on their food budget? Because that's what we do with every single client. That is the average that clients save. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate you. But here's the timeline. Here's what's going to happen. The first 2 weeks, you're going to drop about 6 to 10 pounds of water. That's just the way it works. You're going to drop some body fat, but you're going to lose about 6 to 10 pounds of water weight, and that's okay. But you're going to start noticing like you don't feel bloated. You don't look bloated. Now your skin's going to tighten up. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more confident in the clothes you're wearing. 3 to 9 weeks of doing everything I've talked about in this webinar. You're going to feel stronger, and girls, you're going to feel sexier because things are going to fit better. You're going to start noticing those non-scale victories I talked about earlier. And the new lifestyle, it's habit. We call it a daily discipline. It's no longer this like, I'm not sure what to do. It's overwhelming. Like, oh, I got this. No problem. I meal prep Sunday and Wednesdays. I know exactly what to buy. Oh, and by the way, I'm living by the 80-20 rule. And yeah, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy something at the Cheesecake Factory. Cool. 9 to 16 weeks. This is it. 20 to 32 pounds of weight loss. If you do everything that I tell you to, that my coaches tell you to, this is what you'll see. Unbeatable confidence. Doesn't that sound incredible? Who wants unbeatable confidence? Because that's what I have. You can't break me if you tried. This is what you get from living a life like this. And mindset that anything is possible. Okay, here's where it gets fun. I told you that I had a surprise for you. But before we get to the fun part, there are 2 types of people on this webinar right now. There is the 98%. that still feels kind of sluggish, might want to wait a bit, no real drive to start at the moment, want to wait a little longer. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Then there's the 2% that want to take action. There are 2% of you on this webinar that are going to want to take action right now. You want to have confidence. You want to have that dream physique. You want to have high energy levels. You want the things that I've talked about. For the 98% that just wants to wait a little bit longer, you can go. It's okay. For the 2%, what I have next is for you. All my 2%ers, do me a favor. If you are a 2% that wants this now, put it in the comments. Let me see it. Who is a 2%? Drop it in the comments. Let me see exactly who's my 2% out here. Because there is something incredible coming your way. Be the 2%. Allie, I love it. Caroline, Lauren is the 2%. I love this. Patricia, keep it coming. Who is my 2%? I want to see you. I'm telling you, 98% will go, but there are 2%ers right here, right now. Brooke, Diego, I love it. Let's get into this. So this is what I'm going to do for you. If you're ready to take action now, this moment, you want to be that 2%. You want to come coach with me and my team. You want us to make it easy for you. I'm going to waive your setup fee. You get it for free. You're going to get an extra month of free coaching, whatever you decide to do. You're going to get unlimited meal plans. You are going to not only get that, you're going to get unlimited communication with me and my team. It means you can message us at any time. I'm going to respond. You're going to get lifetime access to my app. In the past, when your program's over, that's it, you're done. But when your program's done, you're going to have access to my app and every tool that you've been using through the whole program. You get all of this. And the value is huge. It's 100% money back guarantee. This is valued at $1,700, almost $1,800. This is typically what I charge. But what if I told you could do it for the price of a Frappuccino a day? If I told you for the price of a cup of coffee a day, we would do all this for you, what would you say? For those 2%ers that are ready to give up a cup of coffee a day to have $1,800 in value, there is a link that we're going to put in the chat right now. I know Britt's in the webinar. Britt, could you please put that and post that in there for us, sweetheart? She's going to pin this to the top. Let me see here. Maybe I can pin it. There it is right there. Pin to the top. Click that link, copy that link, go to that page, and start right now. 1 cup of coffee a day for everything that I've talked about. Get it done. This is your chance to be that 2% to have everything you had. I'm going to do, for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to take a couple questions. The link isn't working? Oh, hang on one sec. Let me get it for you guys. Hey, Brett, will you pop one in here and give me that link, and I'm going to pop it in for everybody? Or you can come in the office, honey. We got it. Hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, this is the problem. I got it. I think. Is it not right? Let me see here. Well, hang in there, guys. Don't lose your motivation. Everything's coming. Really?
Well, I'm going to send your email.
I don't know. Let me find it real quick. This is Britt, by the way, guys.
Hi, everybody.
This is Britt Bussell. I know you guys see a lot of her. Where is it, honey? Let me get it. Where is it?
Just search Frederick.
Got it.
Hi, Frederick. Shout out to Frederick, everybody. Tell him he's amazing.
Yeah, Frederick's the one that helped us set up this webinar. He's awesome. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Copying the link and I'm putting it in right here for you guys. Let's see. There we go. And pinning. That's it. So it should be working. Let me see. I'll double check for you guys. Resource limit is reached. We have slammed the landing page. We had a 508 error. We had too many people. Hang on, guys. We're going to get that fixed. Let Frederick know that we crashed the servers. Yeah.
You said take the thumb out, but it works.
Take what?
Take the thumb out of the link.
The thumb? No. No. Cool. No. There you go. It's back. Sorry, we had to add more server space. You guys crashed my server. Too many people at once. Those are my 2%ers. I love it. Y'all crashed my server. That is incredible. Let's do this. I'll take a couple of questions here. Do you guys have any questions for me right now? Victor, it works. I've been with here. Hi, Victor. How are you, honey? Victor is one of my clients. 89 pounds down, a little over a year. Victor's awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. I just love talking to you too. That's incredible. We broke the internet tonight, guys. I'm so happy. Let's see. Let's see. I started January 5th at 254 pounds, began working out at the gym every day. Currently intermittent fasting, 68. That's fantastic. Currently down 36 pounds. Congratulations, Shane. Shane, is this something you can work around with clients? Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever it is that you want to do. If you are loving what you're doing, intermittent fasting is great. I love the 16-8 window. It's actually the most successful window out of all the windows based on the data. If you want to continue intermittent fasting, just let us know. That's all you got to do. When you get started with us, just tell us you want to keep intermittent fasting. We're happy to work with you. Bad arthritis. Yeah. Whatever your pain is, you just got to tell us where it is and what your restrictions are. We will design around that. And also by getting some of these foods out of your system, I have a lot of clients with rheumatoid arthritis that see massive improvements. Let's see. Other questions really quick. Lost 35 pounds and working on losing the last 10 for your wedding. This is Gloria. Oh, congrats. That's so cool. Why are the last 10 pounds the hardest? It's because most likely you were doing what you did at the beginning. Remember the beginning of the mountain? What brought you to base camp isn't going to get you to the summit. So all these things I talked about, when we start increasing the intensity, your body adapts amazingly fast to what you're doing. We have to change it. We have to kick up the intensity, and just in the ways that I was talking about. So we can incorporate HIIT training for cardio. We can shorten the amount of time you're doing cardio for. We can cut, if you're doing 40 minutes of cardio, we can cut that down to 15 or 20 and get probably better results with that. There's all sorts of ways. I can't get in there. Help me out. Della, what's happening, honey? Tell us what's happening. Anybody else having troubles? Let's see. Can't get in, tried. Hit your link and it won't work for me. What is it saying, Della? What you might have to do is clear your cache, like Control F5 on a laptop, a PC. Do I shop at Aldi's? Not really. I do reviews there sometimes for you guys. Cynthia, 61, thyroid, type 2 diabetic, bad knees, and don't eat fish and fowl. Can you help? Totally. Oh, yeah. Remember, I coach clients all the way up into their 70s. Yeah. Hypothyroidism is most likely Hashimoto syndrome as well. We can help you with that. Yeah. I have no motivation to do a meal plan. That's my downfall. Well, guess what, honey? If I were to give you all your recipes down to the last ingredient and you made them pretty simple, how would you feel? And also remember this. You said you have no motivation to do a meal plan. That means you don't have a why. If you're not motivated, it means you don't have a why that is powerful enough. And just wanting to lose weight, that's not a powerful why. That's one of those ones on the surface. So we need to do that why exercise that we started with. Ask yourself why, and then why again, and why again. 7 layers of an onion. Remember that. Okay. Let me get that link up there for you guys one more time. Thank you, Britt. I'm going to pin this to the top. If you guys did not hit the link, there it is right there. We fixed the server. Thank you for crashing my server. All this attention was amazing. That was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. That's the first time anybody's crashed my server. It's absolutely incredible. Do you meal plan every single meal or just one? We do. So what happens is you're going to get 3 to 4 recipes per meal that you can choose from. And depending on how many meals you want to eat a day, we'll design around that. I usually say, at a minimum 3 meals plus a snack, but some people are going to want 5 or 6 meals depending on where they are, if they want to eat that much. It just depends. You don't have to. But you'll get 3 to 4 recipes per meal that you get to choose from, and that's going to last you for 30 days. And then every 30 days, we redesign your nutrition plan. Because remember, what got you to base camp will not get you to the summit. We have to change that every month for you. So we get you fresh recipes. If there's certain things you love, you're like, I want this in my diet. I want this in my nutrition plan every month. Just tell us. We'll keep those recipes and we'll change the others. Imagine 3 to 4 recipes per meal. You get to choose from every day. An 80-20 rule on top of that. Katie, you're very welcome, honey. Thank you. Hi, Mama. Ah, my mom's in here. This is so cool. Leslie is my mom. She lost 37 pounds since June 2024, last year. I taught her how to do intermittent fasting. And God, look at mom, you're 72. And I bet you feel like you're 40. My mom goes to Disneyland with me all the time, and we walk 11 miles a day while we're there for 4 days. She kills it. I'm so proud of her. She goes on every ride with me, too. Hi, Mom. Let's see. What are your thoughts on adding flavors to water? What should be one watching for to see a lot of? Yeah. So they do have a lot of artificial flavors in them, Shane. If you feel like you need flavor, that's okay. I think it was Stur, STUR, that was actually okay. That was the one I ended up picking. Sage, welcome, honey. Oh, I'm so happy that you signed up. That's fantastic. Can I work around someone that just had surgery, mastectomy? Yes, we can. Darcy, absolutely. We absolutely can. We're going to want to know what your limitations are from your specific surgeon, because some surgeons have different recommendations. Just tell us what you're limited in. We will design around that for you. And most likely with the mastectomy, your oncologist is going to say plant-based for a while. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Plant-based is the best for post-cancer. Okay. Can your husband sign up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Guys, girls, we coach both men and women. Absolutely. I coach more women than men. We have many men in our program. As you saw, Victor was just commenting earlier. He's one of our clients, been with us for over a year, 89 pounds down. Yeah. What else? Do I do any sweets or desserts? Yeah. But I do the 80-20 rule. Totally. I have a downfall of craving sweets after dinner. And that's the reason you crave sweets after dinner. This is Courtney. It's most likely what you ate earlier. So remember those processed foods I talked about, refined carbs, refined sugars, those are going to trigger hunger cravings later. But it also has to do with what you're doing after dinner. So most of us go sit around, we get on our phone, we do the doom scroll, or we get on Hulu or Netflix or Max or whatever it is that we're watching, and we kind of get into that zombie mode. And we're craving some dopamine, so we go eat. And your brain goes, oh, I ate food while I'm scrolling on my phone. Dopamine, do it again. Do more of that, and I'll make you happy by releasing serotonin. So all you have to do is reprogram your mind a little bit and kind of change your behavioral patterns. Very, very simple to do. All right. I love this. Keto, but I have high cholesterol. Faye, yeah, absolutely. As long as you don't switch back and forth from doing ketogenic to carbs, the worst thing you can do is kind of half-ass keto, where you're like, oh, I did pretty good. I'll just have a little bit of carbs. Like that's the worst thing you can do. Your cholesterol is typically high because you have a lot of fats and carbohydrates together in your food, and you're not very active. That tends to be the reason for it. So when you get those carbohydrates out, even though you're eating more fats, your body is incinerating them. It's using them for fuel instead of carbohydrates for fuel. And so most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, we see cholesterol go down in the best of ways. HDL cholesterol, your good cholesterol, will go up. Your LDL and your VLDL, the bad ones, they will go down. Okay. Can someone contact me about? Yes, Courtney, absolutely. We're happy to contact you. Just fill out that form. And if you need somebody else to contact you, let us know. Britt, will you get with Courtney and get her information for us, honey? Kelsey, I'm very glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this link up here for a couple more minutes. I'm going to exit. I've got to run over. I'm producing the show, the wrestling show tonight. So I got a half-hour drive to Austin. The show starts in 40 minutes and I'm in it. So I'm going to have to head on out. But I want to say thank you for everyone that joined me. Remember, $1,800 in value for a cup of coffee a day. You are my 2%. I'm proud of you. And even if you don't sign up, I still love you. Remember that. And I'm still here for you. I'm still going to put out good content. And I hope you take this and run with it. But if you are signing up, get ready because your life is going to change in the most incredible ways. I'll leave this up for a couple minutes for you guys.